into some of the ones that are realistic here. These are a little bit on the high impact side, which is great. That's what we want. Number one, do they have any service breakdowns? We talked already about the postcards of sending out the problematic diesel engines and how you go about doing that. Are you aware of any challenges that they're having when it comes to service breakdowns? Are you aware of the age of their fleet? If you can do that, maybe a little bit of, don't share that you got it, but if you can have a polk list and see that they've got 10 vehicles that are 8 years or more, they need to be cycled out. They're probably down quite a bit. What is that downtime? And can you position yourself to be the superior option there with data to support that? That data becomes the wedge. Second one on the right side, very, very similar, poor service experiences. Have you actually sat down with them and asked about that experience? Have you had to take a truck back to get fixed again? Did they put something on incorrectly? I had one 2 weeks ago, took one of my vehicles in and was getting new tires, and they said, hey, do you want to get your oil changed, or you want to get a battery change because it failed? It was like 9%. You want to get it done before you leave? Yeah, sure, throw it in there. It's my wife's car. I don't want to have her to worry about it. They called me about an hour after I left the dealership and let me know that they actually still had the battery sitting on the tech's desk. Now, they did the right thing and that they drove out to me, and I live about an hour away from where I took it, came out to me and installed it the next day, so they did the right thing. But there are challenges that come into play with whether it's service or anything else. Find out what they are. Next thing, contract renewals, whether it's a track lease or anything else. When those vehicles start to age out, Caslin, what do we do with those?
We
I need
cycle,
more than a smile. Go ahead.
we cycle them, baby.
That's it. So what is that plan? Thank you. What does that plan look like? But even more important than that, what does it look like from a remarketing standpoint for you? How they're coming off of those leases and what they're doing with the vehicles? If maybe they are on a track lease, are you going to buy it out? Are you going to do anything else? We found an interesting stat too, just as a little side note. I think it's worth sharing here from the Executive Leadership Summit yesterday. This is worth writing down if you did not hear this yesterday, that if a fleet has at least one vehicle that's 15 years or older, they are more than likely to actually buy used for their next sets than new. I thought that to be fascinating. Do I have that exactly right, Caslin?
Yes, yeah, you pretty much summed it up. It was an interesting tidbit. I mean, we know that just based on deduction of seeing fleet lists, offering solutions. We can tell if they're purchasing used habitually just by the fleet list, but what was presented is if you want to sell more and be more strategic with your relationship, ask them off like right off the bat, like, are you purchasing used? It looks like you might be. How could we give you a solution right now to address those problematic vehicles? And then in our second or third follow-up appointment or check-in with the customer, introduce a new solution, a new strategy. Hey, we're operating this way with another customer. Would you consider spending a few minutes looking at it with me now that you've earned their trust and respect? It was a really great conversation. I enjoyed hearing that from the stage.
Hey,
It
Will,
was it was pretty. Yes, sir.
I think
Hey, Jim.
these, like that customer would be like a great one for the stuff that you're cycling off, right? So the
Yes.
things that are coming, like once you get the rotations going for some of your bigger customers, they would be the ones that you're in constant communication with, letting them know there's four F-150s, coming in or whatever. We're cycling these out. It, I mean, it's not ideal, but you're still moving metal, right? So and you're still satisfying them, and then maybe down the road you might change your mind, but I think those are great. Like having those kind of contacts in your back pocket will only build up the backside of your fleet solution. Then able to get rid of, instead of auctioning everything, it'll help move that used lot a little bit. Anyway, thought.
That's funny. That's exactly what we were thinking as this discussion was taking place, is right along those lines. So that's perfect, Jim. But I'll add something to that as well, and that we're usually talking about when it comes to communicating with the customers and educating them on lead time and all that kind of stuff and inventory availability and everything, that they're really these days, it hasn't always been this way, but these days it is a constant conversation. So whether it's something like that that Jim just pointed out or what Caslin shared or whatever, you are constantly evolving in that, where understanding, hey, we're looking at ordering 4 this year. Well, that particular model is taking 8 months to deliver. So let's talk about this now so you're not caught off guard. Those types of things, excuse me, where you are renewing your own opportunity as well as theirs. The technology gap one, this also popped up at the summit earlier this week as well, where whether it's those financing options or telematics, the fuel efficiency, or the real thing that hit quite a bit, which was the safety technology, noticing the gaps in that technology can also be a major wedge and might even be the most important one on this screen, really, when you think about it, at least where we are right now. Where the emphasis from the summit was how many of the vehicles in your fleet have a 360 view around the vehicle in terms of safety. Maybe it's just blind spot monitoring, maybe it's sensors, but ideally, and they really emphasize this, you have a camera around all the way around to be able to help you when it comes, obviously, to parking and navigating tight spaces and everything, but also when it comes to accidents. For better or worse when it comes to your driver ability, but hopefully better in this case to be able to protect you. That is something where we didn't really spend this much time talking about it at the summit, but we did yesterday on Cars and Coffee. That might be another revenue opportunity for you in the same vein of how you go about marking up upfits to build a little bit more profit in. The more cameras, the more sensors, the more technology, the ADAS stuff that comes into play, potentially the more sales and revenue that comes from that. But you're also taking care of the customer at the same time, so it's a major, major win-win.